So it's officially happening. Microsoft's New Year's resolution, the thing that they're going to be changing up, is going to be raising the prices on their first-party games. Welcome back to another video, guys. If it's your first time here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I make daily gaming news videos, and if you enjoy that type of stuff, you're in the right spot. So there's been a couple of themes this generation of video games when it comes to the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. The first theme over the first 2 years has just been a lack of stock and a shortage of chips. So people haven't been able to pick up these consoles easily by walking into a store. And now that that is seemingly coming to an end, we have seen so far as well throughout this generation, the price raises from PlayStation for their first-party games being $10 more, as well as from some other third-party publishers like EA and 2K with their sports games and their NBA game from 2K being $10 more, and other games that have come out like Callisto Protocol was $10 more, which that one kind of blows me away. But this has been a trend that has been happening this generation. And now it's official that Xbox is going to be raising the prices of their first-party games in 2023 from $60 to $70. Now, first of all, this isn't a massive surprise because back in October, Phil Spencer actually talked about price hikes, and he said that they're not going to be happening this year, but they do at some point see that they may have to do this. He specifically says, I do think at some point they'll have to raise the prices on certain things, but going into this holiday, we thought it was important to maintain those prices. And what they did was pretty interesting because in the holiday season, they actually reduced the prices of the Xbox Series S specifically. There was an insane price decrease. And in fact, you could actually get the Xbox Series X for $100 less if you bought it through the Instagram store with their deal that they had going on if it was a first-time purchase. So there was ways to get these consoles cheaper than their MSRP right now. Now, they don't mention anything about an increase in the price of the consoles, but they are definitely going to be raising their first-party games. It says here, Microsoft is increasing the prices of its upcoming first-party Xbox games next month. From 2023 onward, new full-price games from Xbox Game Studios like Redfall, Starfield, and Forza Motorsport will be priced at $16.99. They are usually $59.99. This is all in US dollars. I love when people are complaining about the US dollar increase of stuff because here in Canada, games are already $79.99. They were last generation, and now they're going to be $89.99, which is just mind-blowing to think about picking up a game day one at $90. And this is going to be matching competitors. They say here like Sony, Ubisoft, Take-Two, all offering their own games. Now, I don't remember Ubisoft offering all their games for that $10 more. Like, I don't think like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, that was $10 more when it first came out. Maybe it was. I don't fully recall. Or even a lot of their recent releases, like was Far Cry and was Immortals Phoenix Rising. I don't think it was, but maybe it was. And maybe their future games are going to be the $10 more price tag. And even their upcoming Assassin's Creed game, the smaller one, I think is going to be an even cheaper price than the $60 price tag. And here's Xbox's or Microsoft's official statement. We've held on price increases until after the holiday so families can enjoy the gift of gaming. Starting in 2023, our new built for next gen full price games, including Forza Motorsport, Redfall, and Starfield will launch at $69.99 USD on all platforms. This price reflects the content scale and technical complexity of these titles. As with all games developed by our teams at Xbox, they will also be available with Game Pass the same day they launch. So there you have it. Now, my opinion on this, it's kind of, I have two takes on this. The first take I have is that it's not surprising. This is the way that the industry is going, and you could technically justify this for a multitude of reasons, like inflation, and like these games are bigger, so it costs more to make them. There are more people to pay. The overhead costs more. And if you look at historically, inflation and everything and just the pricing of games right now technically would be cheaper than games from like the Atari era. So when you look at it like that, you put that into perspective, it isn't that surprising and it isn't as massive as a deal as you would think it is. But the $10 price increase, the PlayStation tax I used to call it, or now it's just going to be the video game tax or the regular price of video games, is something that I think in today's day and age where we are getting game after game after game after game that comes out and is just literally broken or has so many issues with it. If you pick it up on day one, you are wasting your money because you're going to sit there and you're going to wait for a patch to come and fix that game. And sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes a day, sometimes it takes a month before you actually get the good version of that game. Charging people $10 more right now, I think, is actually a very, very bad move by Xbox. I don't think they should be doing this. And when you look at the games that they are saying are going to be $10 more, Forza Motorsport, that one's okay, but Redfall and Starfield, both games that were supposed to be releasing in 2022, yet they are still going to be selling them for that $10 price increase in 2023. I personally think that's absurd. I don't think they should be doing that. I think those should be sticking to the lower price tag since technically they were supposed to be coming out this year. And if they were to have released this year, even without that extra year in development, they would have been at that $59.99 or $60 price tag. And then when it comes to the cost of inflation and then the overhead costs and all of this type of stuff that developers and publishers continuously like to tell us as to why they have to increase the prices of their games by $10, you also have to take into account that video games as an industry today, compared to the Atari times, compared to the Nintendo times, has grown exponentially. Like, it is not even close. The amount of money that these publishers and developers are making off of game sales, off of microtransactions, and off of any other types of transactions that take place within that one game, DLC, further content coming. They are continuously making more and more money off of these games. So it isn't just a black and white scenario here. It isn't just, okay, there's inflation, there's higher production costs because the games are bigger, so you have to increase the prices. We have to be honest and look at everything. These games are making more money than they've ever made before in the history of video games, yet they're still trying to tell us that they aren't making enough. I have a hard time actually buying that argument. And, you know, $10 price increase, it isn't the end of the world. But for somebody like myself, it really is going to reduce the chance that I go out and buy a game day one. You can use the Game Pass argument too as to why this isn't a big deal. And sure, Game Pass really does save people a ton of money. And it's going to save people even more money now because games are $10 more. But if you don't think they're going to be raising the price of Game Pass in 2023, probably another thing coming. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll see probably a price increase of Game Pass in 2023. And I'm much more okay with a price increase of Game Pass where the value is absurd. I don't even know how they're still charging the amount that they charge right now compared to the $10 premium increase of the first party releases. And now with that $10 increase, Xbox, they have put themselves in a position that it is unacceptable, in my opinion, to be releasing broken games, to be releasing games of low quality from the first party position. People are going to be sitting here and their expectations were here, and now they're going to be here for every single time a first party Xbox game comes out because it is going to be costing that $10 more. And you know what? PlayStation is going to have that direct comparison now, because you saw God of War Ragnarok come out and I loved it. That was an extremely, extremely high quality game. Was it worth the $10 premium price tag? I picked it up at launch. I paid the $90, but that was because I was able to trade in some games and literally got it for free. Actually, I had $10 credit back on the trade-ins specifically for God of War Ragnarok, but it was a very high quality game. And it's something that you kind of forget the price of it when you're playing through it. That's where Xbox needs to be now. No more excuses. If the excuses are over, if they don't deliver in 2023 now with the price increase, and if there's other price increases coming, I think it's going to be a big issue from Xbox fans, including myself. I am going to just be pretty upset with the way that they've handled some of this stuff, because right now we were looking at Xbox and we were thinking, man, the value there is incredible. It still is. I'm not trying to say it isn't, because you still have Game Pass and you still have, I would say, the better console in the Xbox Series X with way better quality of life features, a way better user experience than the PS5. But now the value of having first party games $10 cheaper is completely gone. So like I said, 2023, and whenever they're releasing their first party games, they're going to have to deliver, and people are going to have to hold them accountable if they don't. But that's it for me, guys. What are your thoughts on this? Do you agree with me? Do you think I'm crazy? What do you think about the price increase in general? And are you surprised that Xbox is raising their prices in 2023? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here and you liked what you saw, consider hitting that subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.